All right.
We're live.
We're live. Oh, very nervous. Very nervous.
You got this.
I got this. All right. So we're just going to wait for a few people to trickle in. I'm not seeing it on the Facebook page just yet.
Yeah, it takes a second. There we are. Okay.
Yes. I see me. Okay, great. So.
Oops, I better turn my volume on.
Yes. Oh, can you hear? Yes, there's that.
Yes.
Echo.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just trying to share it on my phone because this is like bootlegs. This is the beauty of live stuff. Not bootleg. What am I saying?
All messy. It's great.
Yes.
And Chris already shot his pants. Great. Greenberg staying on brand in the comments. Very good. All right.
Behave, Greenberg. Behave. There we go. Done.
All right. That's shared to my profile. I'm just going to share this to the Gut the Punks thing because I need followers. I need eyeballs, as many eyeballs as possible.
People better watch this shit, man. I'm going to be really mad. I'm going to remember who's not watching.
I'll make a list.
Yeah.
Go and break into their house, shove the laptop in their face.
Yep.
Tie them down, force them to watch it.
It's creepy October, so I mean we can be whoever we want. So if we have to be murderers, we'll be murderers.
Yeah. Your Honor, it was October when that happened. You gotta understand.
Yep.
All right. Cool. So I think we have enough eyeballs at the moment to start, and people can just start jumping in. So, hello everyone. Welcome to the very first episode of Gut the Punks here on the Bucketlist Entertainment Network. My very first guest. First of all, my name is Chris Aitkens, and my very first guest is Liz Imperiale of Bucketlist Entertainment, the queen, the founder of Bucketlist. Thank you for being with me, Liz.
Oh, thank you for having me, Chris.
As if we haven't been talking for the past 10 minutes or so. So before we launch into all the questions that I wrote for you, I just want to give our viewers a bit of a history of what Gut the Punks is. For those who don't know, I write for a website called Nightmare on Film Street. And 1 month for Nightmare on Film Street, our editors decided it would be Greedy Guts Month because they have both of their birthdays are in July. So they just said to all the writers, hey, it's your month too. You can write about whatever you want. So what I decided to write about is the presence of punks in horror movies, because that's kind of how I discovered horror movies. I watched movies like Return of the Living Dead, Repo Man, Class of Nukem High, Class of 1984, and, all those have punks in it. And so because the month was called Greedy Guts, I wanted to call it Gut the Punks because it's like up the punks, except with guts. Kind of a dumb origin of the name, but it stuck. And then from there, that turned into a column. So every month I was talking about a different movie that had punks in it, and I was talking about the music in it. And when that column, didn't happen anymore, I don't think Nightmare on Film Street is doing columns anymore. I kind of was looking around trying to figure out what I was going to do next, because I still wanted to keep this brand. I still wanted to keep on talking about the presence of punks in horror movies and the presence of punk music in horror movies. So I kind of wanted to start this show and talk with filmmakers, musicians, and content creators about the music they like and the horror movies they like. It doesn't necessarily have to be horror. It doesn't necessarily have to be punk. But I do have a big appreciation for the do-it-yourself ethos. And Liz has been doing it for herself for quite a while. When did Bucketlist start?
Oh, Bucketlist started in 2013.
And how did it start? Why did you want to start Bucketlist?
So I actually, it's funny. I've been going to shows since I was a child, since I was like 5 years old. Luckily, I have parents who are really into music, and they just brought me to a lot of shows and bought me records and stuff. So I was always a big music nerd. And funnily enough, I actually started my actual first review site in 99-ish
Okay.
on the Angel Fire
Right.
website.
I remember that.
And it was more of a fun thing where I was expecting people to actually see my website, and I had a section saying, send me your CD review about the latest CD that you bought and blah, blah, blah. So that was my first one, but that obviously failed because Angel Fire, and I didn't know what I was doing. But then 2013, I was offered a gig for another webzine, and they just asked if I was down to just write reviews of shows that I'm attending and so on and so forth. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm not really much of a writer, but that sounds really fun. I'm gonna give it a shot. So I ended up not really digging the organization too much, and because I'm such a boss bitch, I was like, fuck this, I'm gonna start my own. But it started off more as a hobby, just like, oh, we're going to gather a couple of friends and we're going to review shows for fun and expose or have the local scene have a little bit more press, basically, and help them out as much as possible. So it initially started off Angel Fire. It initially started off as just supporting the local scene. So I wanted those guys to get the most coverage, and it just kind of blew up. Like more and more people wanted to be a part of this and join in, be a writer, a photographer, and then it just kind of grew and grew, and then we started covering the bigger shows, and then it just became like a staff of like 25-ish people, of photographers and writers, all wanting to be a part of this and contribute to the scene in some way. And it was really an awesome like thing to watch, because we were just this like family that was forming and trying to get the scene exposed a little bit. So yeah, and now it's 2021 and we are here.
So over the years, how has Bucketlist changed?
Oh my God, blood, sweat, and tears. Just a lot of hard work. In terms of change, just lots of, people coming and going. It's a volunteer position, so it's understandable. Lives, we have our lives and things happen. So a lot of changes with the team. And since COVID, since the pandemic, we've become more of an online presence because there's no shows. So we started doing a lot of online stuff, a lot of live Q&As with artists, people in the industry. We've been doing a lot of little shows like this, like your show. We have Justin's show. And we've just been doing little things like this online because we were trying to stay present as much as we could without shows going on. Now that shows are coming back, that's a whole other situation. It's a little interesting. We're not fully there right now, but that's basically the biggest change, is just pandemic. We've turned to this route, which I'm enjoying. I do like having these personal interactions with people, even if it's not in person. It's nice that we're meeting a lot of people doing it this way as well. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. And going from, I guess, written reviews to videos, have you seen an improvement in terms of eyeballs and engagement?
To be honest, I haven't really seen much of a difference. Like it's still the same kind of support that we're getting. Yeah. People really dig the live stuff. It's easy to share it on all different platforms. I mean, it's more so, I think, the bands that have been getting press from us, like with reviews and stuff like that, their teams or their publicists and whatnot are missing out the most. But I feel like in terms of our following, and even the bands that we've interviewed, they kind of dig this a little bit more. It's more entertaining. So, but the writing is always a very important part, mostly because, a lot of artists have gotten press coverage. They added to their EPKs, whatever the case may be. So now it's the unfortunate thing where they're kind of like, well, we don't have it anymore, and but it's not really much of a difference. I don't know. I haven't noticed. So yeah.
So for somebody who's just starting off with my brand, what advice would you give me in terms of social media strategy, in terms of getting as many followers as possible?
Just try to produce as much content as possible, and share. Sponsored ads, get sponsorships if you can down the road. Invest in these types of platforms that you're sharing your show on. Just a lot of content, just as much as you can, because there's other platforms out there. It takes time, there's so much competition out there, and the most important thing is have fun. Don't let that stop. Like, if as soon as you notice you're not having fun anymore and it becomes work and a job, then you're not meant to be doing that anymore. So the number one thing is just have fun with it, and then it'll come. So yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, let's just jump straight into the movies. I mean, after all, it is spooky season, so it seemed appropriate to launch this show in October. So the very first movie I think we'll be talking about, I mean, you dressed for the occasion, and so did I.
Oh! Oh, I love that shirt. Oh, where did you get that?
I think it was a website called Rotten Cotton, and I've had this for quite a few years.
You have the coolest shirts. Like, you always find the coolest shirts. You have to send me these links, because that's awesome.
I know.
Jesus wept. Yeah.
And Jesus wept, which is a killer line to say before you die.
Oh, yeah.
But also, as you know, I want to. Oh, hey, Sid. Good to see you. But yes, I want to take advantage that this is also a visual medium. It's not just a podcast. It's not just radio. So it's great that you dressed for the occasion. I also wanted to show off my Hellraiser box set.
I don't even have that. Wow.
But yes, let's talk about Hellraiser. Do you remember the first time you ever watched Hellraiser?
Oh my God. I was definitely under 10 years old. I was probably like 8 or 9-ish, and I remember myself and my older sister, we watched it together, and she reacted a lot worse than I did. She had nightmares from Pinhead. Like, she couldn't. And I was just more fascinated by it. I was like, this is so weird. What's happening? But yeah, I was definitely very young. And I only actually recently saw, well, not recently, I'm going to say maybe like in the last 5-ish years, I saw the other 6.
Okay.
There's 7 in total, right?
I think there's like maybe 8 or 9 right now.
Yeah.
I think there's a certain point where most fans stopped watching because it was just like became worse and worse and worse.
Yeah. Worse, but in a good way. I still like them. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. But what appealed to you about it?
What appealed to me about it? Like,
yeah,
okay,
why this over any other horror movie?
Oh God. I mean, I love so much horror. Like, it's not necessarily like this is better than anything else, but it's just so weird. Like, there's just so much involved, with the Cenobites and the gore, and the torture with the chain, like the effects, and every Hellraiser movie has something completely random in it. Like, there's the one on the spaceship, there's the one in the mall, I think, and there's all these different scenarios, and it's just the fact that they, I don't know, come out, they bring the worst out in you, and it's always like the assholes that get it's just, and the magic, I can go on and on, the magic box, like, it's just, I don't know. I'm not really giving much, I'm just blabbering, but there's so much about it I love. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So if you were turned into a Cenobite, what do you think you would look like?
Oh man, oh God. Okay, so this is a good question.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
Oh my
like
god.
you kind of remember in the third how like he creates Cenobites like based on like things that people are obsessed with. So you have like the DJ who had like the CDs in his face. I think
Yes.
there was like a chain smoker who just like had like a bunch of like cigarettes coming out of them and stuff. So
Okay.
I guess like it's your Cenobite is linked to your obsession or the things that you
But
surround
I
yourself
love.
with.
I would probably. Oh, I'm just like all excited now. What would it look like? Um, a pen. Okay. Um, I'd probably. Oh god, I'm like imagining like kind of like what was his name in Spaceballs? The pizza like
Oh, Pizza the Hut.
yeah, something along those lines, or like a lizard, an actual lizard queen of some kind, like, but
So
just
like
like
reptilian skin.
yeah, the reptilian skin, but like with like the red, like I would have the red hair and just like the mouth, like I don't know, just with like hooks and stuff all like
Mm.
inside my skin and just I'd have to draw this out because it's coming to me, but like I'm trying to. This is something that I'm definitely going to be drawing out later. I have such an
Awesome.
idea going on in my head now. That is such a good question. Oh my god. What would you? What do you think? What would you look like as a Cenobite?
That is a good question.
Like
I
when you're on the
actually,
spot. Yeah.
yeah, right. um, I'm not too sure. I don't know. I was playing a lot with candles this past weekend because I don't know. I grew up in a church, and one of the things that you do, like when you're in a church and you get bored, you just play with the candles. Like sometimes it depends on the service. Like usually during the Christmas service, they like give you a candle to like hold throughout the entire service. And I
Oh
just like constantly playing with the wax and everything like that. So maybe I'll be like have some like candles on my head. They're all like drooping down and like
oh,
scalding me. I'm not too sure.
feel like
I'll
a
have to think
candle.
about that. I'll have to draw it.
Yeah, there you go. See, we can collaborate and draw
Hmm.
our Cenobites, or we could draw our friends as Cenobites.
And yes, Jason saying that I grew up in a church sure explains a lot. Yes. I think at this point I'm overcompensating with
Oh.
the music I listen to and the movies that I watch because I wasn't allowed to watch that stuff or listen to that stuff when I was younger.
Oh, so how old were you when you saw your first horror movie?
I think it was pretty late, actually. I think I watched my first horror movie, when I was maybe 12 years old, which is still a bit
Wow,
young,
that's
but
young. That's still young. I had an older sister and a father that was horrible when it came to this stuff. So I literally saw my first horror movie ever was Fright Night.
ooh,
Yeah, and I was 6 years old. So I actually showed Jason that movie for the first time because I'm torturing him with all my horror. Um, that movie gave me nightmares for weeks. Like the vampire at the end, like
mm.
the girlfriend who turned like with her mouth, like that just traumatized the shit out of me for weeks. So I was broken and good at that point. I was like, I can take whatever comes my way now. That's why Hellraiser was like, okay, this is like similar and yeah.
Exactly, because it's always scarier in your mind. I remember people in the playground describing Chucky to me, like Child's Play 2 or something like that.
Yeah.
And it just seems so scary to me. And then when I actually saw it, I'm like, okay, I survived that. I
Yeah,
can watch more things.
exactly.
But going back to Hellraiser, I saw that you posted something about this earlier this week. But how do you feel about there being a reboot with a female Pinhead?
I am super excited for that. I think it's such a great idea. And apparently, Jason actually told me this earlier. Apparently, it's the same actress that's doing that was Doctor Who.
Okay.
Yeah, she's fucking badass. I think it's going to be really really interesting. I can already imagine it. So I think it's a fantastic idea.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And I'm in a lot of like these horror Facebook groups, and a lot of people are losing their shit over it because they're like purists and everything like that. But then you have like the ultra nerds chiming in saying, well, actually, in the original book, what was Hellraiser based off of by Clive Barker? It's called The Hellbound Heart, I think.
Oh, I don't even know that. Yeah.
And the way Pinhead is described in that, it's like he's either, or he or she is either like androgynous or a woman. Could be a woman, could be a man. You never really know. So a lot of people are just like, well, it's not that much of a stretch if you go back to the original material. So,
right. Well, there you go. That I actually didn't know. But that makes a lot of sense because we don't really know what any of these. The whole point is we don't know what Pinhead really is. We've never really we don't understand him or her. Or any of the other Cenobites. They're just beings that like to torture you. So and bring out the worst fears in you. So
in hell, gender doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's going to be really cool. I can't wait to see what she looks like how it's presented and everything. Oh, I looked it up and got the Doctor Who thing wrong. Okay, I'll later. Yeah.
But I think the actress who is going to play Pinhead, she was in the L Word. That's a lot what the headlines are saying.
Yeah,
the L Word actress. Now the Pinhead.
Okay, the L Word was definitely, I didn't recognize her. The L Word is definitely one of my favorite shows, and I didn't recognize the actress. 1 second. I'm checking again because I did not realize that it was the same actress. I don't recognize her at all in the L Word. Maybe she
Jamie Clayton?
Jamie Clayton. Because I don't know their actual real. I'm terrible with the real names with some of these. Jamie. Yeah, because that is crazy. Jamie Clayton. Okay, sorry, I'm just.
It's all right. We should put on the Jeopardy music while people do Google searches. Because
she was in Generation Q. I haven't seen that yet. That's the new L Word. Yeah.
Okay.
So she doesn't count because the original was better in my opinion. So. Yeah.
All right. So, I mean, if we don't have anything else to say about Hellraiser, we can move on to your next movie obsession, which is.
Oh, yeah. I have David tattooed on my leg. I have the Sexy Sax Man tattooed on my leg next to him. And that's Tim Capello. Everything. We just watched this last night, too, for I can watch this movie over and over. Yeah.
I'm sure you can.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I specifically wanted to ask you about this Sexy Sax Man because whenever he an image of him kind of shows up on social media, people send you that image and you've already seen it. But I guess why do you think that particular 12 seconds that he's in that movie, why do you think that's so iconic?
Why isn't it it's just because he's got the purple leather pants and the greasy muscly body and he's shaking his hips and just playing that sax and it's funny because it was always one of the biggest parts in the movie and he was in it for 2 seconds. His music is so good. Stock. No, the Vaseline, yeah. I'm telling you, he is on my list of people that I really, really, really want to meet. But yeah, I don't know. His music is great. He's this big, powerful being, and they're all dancing and the fire, and it's just it's just the cheesiest, best scene ever.
And I was actually watching footage, live footage of him playing from 2 years ago, and he's still got it. He's still got the hip movements and everything, and he's still doing conventions as well.
Yep, he's doing really well. He's doing really well for himself. I think he's playing off the Lost Boys a lot. He's also played. I don't know if you're big on the synthwave game, but he's releasing new music and he's partnered he's played on Gunship albums and his muscles have muscles. He's a muscly, cuddly, nice man that I would love to meet one day. But yeah, he's doing really well. He's They see perfect. He doesn't play the sax. He makes love to it. That's perfect.
So have you heard that there's news of a reboot of The Lost Boys?
I have.
And how do you feel about that?
Okay, first of all, there's 3 Lost Boys. Okay, there's the first one, which is the best one ever, and there's the second one, which is okay. It's Kiefer Sutherland's son that plays the head vampire, like, even though he's like not the, the head. And he does really well in it, and he looks just like Kiefer, and it's really cool to see like the son play this in the second one. The third one is probably the worst movie I've ever seen in my life, and that says a lot because I love bad movies. Corey Feldman insisted on making the third, even though Corey Haim is not around, and like he insisted on doing this because you just can't let it go. And so he did the whole thing. He produced it, directed it, everything, and it's so bad. I'm sure. So I don't know what the reboot's gonna like. I read about it, and they're gonna have a whole new cast and a whole new like director and stuff. Like it's just gonna be completely by a different team, I think. Or am I wrong? Or they're gonna have some of the same people get back on it? Like
I think it's a completely different cast and completely different director.
Like, just leave it alone. It's such a classic. It's still aged well, in my opinion. Like all the music, like Tim Capello is still killing it. He's still touring. Like the clothing, the quality, the makeup, the effects. In my opinion, even the comedy and like the script, and it aged so well. Why reboot it? Like, just leave it alone. I don't know. But
how do you feel about remakes in general?
It depends. Most of them, it's obviously like it almost feels like they're running out of ideas. There's just too many good movies that have come out already that they're just like, oh, we'll redo it and make it better. But like, like The Craft, for example, like why did they even touch that movie? It was just so perfect, and they ruined it with this remake. But then there's Carrie, where they've done, I don't know, like 3 or 4 of them now or something. And like, and some of them, like the second one that came out, like the first one right after the original, I can't remember the name.
Oh, The Rage?
I think. Yes, that one was pretty good.
Yeah.
But then it just got like worse. But then there's Dune coming out, and that looks freaking incredible. So, it just depends, I guess. Like, I'm open to it. I love the remake of Freddy versus Jason, or Freddy versus Jason. Was there a remake of that one? Or no, what am I saying? Evil Dead. The remake of Evil Dead. That I really dug. I thought that was really well done. But that, like, it depends. Like, I'm open to it, but I'm also like, come on, like, there has to be more than just constantly rebooting and remaking. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think in like horror circles, everybody brings up that Evil Dead remake as like, this is how to do it. Like, you completely change the tone of like the original movies. It's not a campy thing anymore. It's like scary and very violent. Not that the originals were violent, but yeah, everybody kind of holds up the Evil Dead remake as the way to make a remake.
Yeah, for sure.
So yes, on the topic of sexy men, let's talk about Jason Momoa.
Okay. Can never talk about him enough, but yes.
Yes. I mean, what's so attractive about him? I certainly don't see
it. Honestly, I want to swim, not swim. I want to hibernate in his muscles and just stay there forever. But he's a very, I met him briefly at Comic-Con, and he wasn't very nice. Like, it was weird. Like, he was you can tell that he didn't want to be there. He was hungover probably, and he was tired. So I understand a lot on his part to do what he was doing, but he rejected my request. So for the photo, and I was kind of like, that made me sad. I wanted him to pretend propose to me, and he was like, I'm married, I'm sorry, I can't do that. But then I saw him do that with another couple, but it was a couple, so I guess he felt more comfortable, and it wasn't like a one-on-one thing. But he was in the picture. He was like taking the girl away from her boyfriend. So whatever. But he's just so beautiful. Like he's just an amazing. He's okay, Jason.
I guess, yeah, Jason really knows his animal genitalia.
Just like, what the hell? But yeah, he's an interesting. He's going to be he's in the new Dune, so I'm excited to see him in that. Yeah, he's got a good big character, which is surprising. So yeah, but yeah, he's hot.
We'll get back to Jason Momoa in a second, but just a comment about Dune. I feel like the bar for Dune is like so low just because of that David Lynch movie is just horrendous. So I feel like Denis Villeneuve could do no wrong at this point.
He's really good. So I personally love the Lynch version because I love Lynch. I love everything he does, but Lynch hated it. Lynch hated doing that movie. So he was really uninspired and he just kind of did it because he was asked and he had to, but I still love it. It's a special place in my heart and it's one of my favorite books. So but yeah, I think the new one might be, well, I think it will be better. So I have a feeling it's going to be much better.
Oh man, I should have brought out my tape of Dune. Oh well. So going back to Jason Momoa, do you remember the first thing that you saw him in?
Oh God. I think it was Baywatch. I used to watch Baywatch when I was a kid, and I think it was that.
Like the OG Baywatch?
Yeah. He was a child. He was a baby in that. He was so young. And I was like, oh my God, he's so cute. And then, of course, Game of Thrones. Everyone was like, everybody was telling me to watch it. I was the last person on like literally to get into it. And I watched it and I fell in love with him officially in that. And then I stopped watching the show when he died. I was like, fuck this. Right. And I haven't watched it since. And then I sort of like kept on finding things with him. There's a movie, since we're in the genres of horror. Have you seen The Bad Batch?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a strange movie, but he does a good job in it.
Oh yeah. He does a great job in that one. It's weird. It's one of those movies that it's best to watch just once though. Because I've watched it now 4 times and I'm finding it to be like the first few times I was like, this is kind of cool. It's a cool concept, really symbolic and weird and cannibalism and all this crap. But now I'm just like, it's such a bad movie. I can't watch it anymore. Like I ruined it. But yeah, he's not, he's a decent actor. He still has to, he has his role. He's good at playing the barbarian, the tough guy, but he's still figuring it out, I think.
Well, I mean, from what I remember from acting school, pretty much casting is 90% a look. So, I mean, he has that look. He doesn't really necessarily need to have the greatest acting chops. He just needs to know where the camera is in relation to where he is.
Okay.
And just look a certain way.
Right. Yeah, he definitely does. He does a good job with that.
Do you have a favorite movie of him with him in it?
Sadly, I don't. I'm more into the whole, like I do love the Game of Thrones mostly. But movies and stuff like that, I'm just like this is going to sound so sexist, but it's a lot of eye candy for me when it comes to his movies, because his movies are not like that. Like a lot of his movies are not that great. My all-time favorite in terms of like looks and movies and actors and everything is Keanu Reeves. Like he's like my everything. Like I would put, if I had the choice of Momoa and Keanu Reeves, I would jump to Keanu Reeves. So, but Momoa is like beautiful, but Keanu Reeves is beautiful inside it. Like he's just like an amazing person. And I've been following him since I hit puberty. Like Keanu Reeves is just amazing. And he was in his first horror movie, Knock Knock. Like a little free, the best line in Knock Knock is, I gave you free, you sucked my cock and I gave you free fucking pizza. Like that, he must have been dying and like
Yeah.
making this movie, like laughing his ass off in the back. But he's definitely my favorite. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
And he's a very wholesome person as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, we could slowly wrap this up. Just some general questions. What is your favorite horror movie or favorite movie in general?
Clockwork Orange is
Mm,
definitely up there. But when I'm always asked this question, Lost Boys, obviously, number one. God, there's so many though. But usually when people ask me, those are the first two that come to my head.
mhm.
So
That's
yeah,
fair.
The Shining, yeah.
All right. Favorite movie soundtrack?
Oh, there's so many. The Crow,
That's a good one.
Natural Born Killers, um, Singles. You know the grunge. A lot of the really good stuff on there. Oh my god, there's so many. A lot of '90s scores. I'm really
Mm-hmm.
into. The Faculty, like
Yeah.
those. Yeah, Idle Hands. Like all those movies have great soundtracks. So, what are your favorites?
Oh well, I liked Return of the Living Dead. The Crow is great.
Yeah,
You know what? Maybe I need to think about this for the
yeah.
next
There's
interview.
so many. Oh my god.
But you also brought up synthwave before, and I'm really seeing this trend of this rise of synthwave in current movies. And
Yeah,
there's like seems to be like a lot of 80s nostalgia in
I
movies that
know.
are coming out like 30 years after the
I
fact.
love it. Yeah. I love this. I love the scores that are coming out these days. Like, I don't know if you've seen the movie The Guest.
I haven't no.
Okay. This is like more of like a thriller. Um, the score on this movie is just perfect. It's all of the synthy wave. It's one of my favorites that just came out recently. But yeah, it's really coming back right now, the synth wave, and I'm just soaking it in. I love it so much.
So you're doing the Inktober challenge
Yes,
this month.
yes, I am.
How have you been finding it? I mean,
Uh, it's fun. I have such a busy schedule, so I'm trying to make time for it. I want to really be dedicated and get a drawing out every day. So my doodles are like not necessarily rushed. Like I'm trying to come up with something creative, but it doesn't take me long to draw.
mhm.
So that's the creative part is the hardest. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna just do that and just draw it out, and it's cool. So it's been really fun. It's my first time doing it, and I love it. But I do have a shop as well that just launched. Now it's going to be a month, actually, almost. It's going to be a month and 4 days, and I sell a bunch of pop culture related t-shirts, baseball t-shirts, and tote bags right now of my own drawings. So if you guys want to check it out, you can go to my Instagram at lizardqueen666 underscore, and you just click on the link in the bio, and I'm there. And it's the It Follows sound. Yeah. Oh, It Follows. Hell yes.
Yeah.
That's actually one of my favorite horror movies. I like that literally. Funny he brought that up. But yeah, so if you guys want to check it out, it's there if you want to buy some merch. And I have a question for you, Chris.
Okay.
What is the scariest horror movie you've ever seen? That literally where you couldn't be alone in your home, like you're just terrified to walk alone or whatever.
That is a good question. It also depends when I saw that, at what point in my life I saw it as well.
Okay.
Uh, I remember the first time I watched Human Centipede, that just stuck with me for weeks.
Yeah.
Like every time I closed my eyes, I would see the Human Centipede. So
Yeah.
that kind of fucked me up. But I think the movie that scared me the most would have to be Green Room.
Really?
Just
Because of the
because,
scoring and like.
it's just like I feel like it's a realistic scenario, and
Yeah.
it could happen to me.
Yeah,
I've kind
it's
of like
true.
been in that scenario where like skinheads like were at least threatening to like kick my ass. So
Right.
um but like yeah, that movie is just like just the mood and the atmosphere of it just really kind of sink in. And I've seen that movie maybe like 6 or 7 times, but my heart like just beats really heavy like every time I watch it.
Oh yeah.
So
It's a tough one to watch for sure. Yeah.
so I think I can take the movies with monsters, I can take the movies with vampires or
Yeah.
cosmic shit, but like the kind of like real life horrors, like home invasions,
Mhm.
stuff like that, that stuff kind of weighs heavy on me.
Yeah. The Terrifier. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Fucking
Oh, for sure. No,
Archula.
I'm with you. I believe in ghosts and stuff like that and spirits.
Mm.
So the paranormal movies do actually affect me that same way, and also like the home invasion and movies as well. Um, but the scariest movie that I've seen, because I don't really get scared necessarily anymore. I get more of a rush, like, oh yeah, that's fucking crazy, and I'll have that reaction. But scared was The Taking of Deborah Logan.
Mm.
Did you watch that one?
I haven't seen it, but I've seen clips and they look very disturbing. Just that, like,
Right.
one of the final clips where I'm not going to, like,
Yeah.
say any spoilers, but you know what I'm talking about. Like,
Yeah.
that one scene.
Yeah. I watched it twice. The first time was alone because I'm an idiot. And the second time I wanted my sister to see it. So I watched it with her. Both times I couldn't be alone in my apartment after that for like a couple of days. It terrified the shit out of me. But other movies, it's more like that's the first one in like the last 5 years of new stuff coming out. That's the one that did it for me. Last 5-10 years.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
So is there any other projects that you're working on?
No, right now it's just
Okay.
it's called Liz Art Designs, and but my shop is called Pop Culture Number 9,
Okay.
and it's all pop culture reference. So I'm going to be putting up a few designs at a time, and that's pretty much all I'm doing right now in terms of projects besides bucket list stuff. And yeah, so that's it.
All right. I have one last question for you. I'm not sure if anybody has asked you this question. I know you've asked many people this question, but what is on your bucket list?
Oh, the tables have turned. Oh, this is weird. I guess to actually own my own shop one day, where people just buy all my clothes and all my designs, and they like them, and I'm doing really well in that, and I'm not just that's one thing. Traveling the world, obviously, I've traveled a lot, but I still have a lot more places I want to see. Um, get like lying in a forest, or going to the jungle and being surrounded by sloths. I just want to be surrounded by sloths for like as long as I need. Um, and yeah, that's pretty much the most for now that I have on my list.
It's a good goal. It's a good
Yeah,
goal.
yeah. I don't know.
All right. I mean, we've been talking for quite a while, but usually near the end of these things, we like to open it up to people who are actually watching. So, to the 5 people who are still watching, do you have any questions you would like to ask Liz or I, or anything you want to bring up? Now is the time. You've done like many of these, I'm sure, and like there's always like that awkward pause where you're like, okay, Q&A time.
Yeah, a little bit.
Who's gonna ask the question first? And
Yeah,
maybe nobody asked the question, so we could just maybe put a time limit on this, and then we'll wrap it up in a pretty little bow.
of course. Oh, somebody asked something. Somebody asked a question.
Oh yes, my favorite soundtrack. I did say Return of the Living Dead, but I also really love Mandy. There's just like something about that score, especially I'm trying to remember the composer of that movie. I think it's Johannes. I think Johan Johansson, I think it was actually his last score that he did before he passed away. So
I forgot about that.
So, but it's like such a great score. It's like synthy, it's doomy. And yeah, I've listened to a lot of that. I also love the Turbo Kid soundtrack just because I love that movie. But the band behind that, Le Matos, they do
They're
great stuff.
they're so good. Yeah, I've seen them a bunch of times actually. They're really good. I wonder what they're up to these days. I know that they play Picnic Electronic, but like I wonder if they're making more music because they're really good at the score stuff. They make really good scores. So,
Fave Slasher. You want to go first? I gotta think a bit.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Put the spotlight on me so you can think about it. Let's see. Fave. Well, I mean, the Halloween movies, I guess, would probably be the best for me. Those are classics. You know, you can't go wrong with them. So, all the Halloweens. Yeah.
I do like Nightmare on Elm Street just because, you know, I guess when it comes to like Jason or Michael Myers or Leatherface, you know, they're always like these like big burly men who are like unstoppable.
Right.
But when it comes to like Freddy Krueger, you know, he's kind of like this like burned up like skinny man, but like he'll get you in your dreams. The one thing that like you can't escape from is sleep.
Right. That's a good point.
So I really like, first of all, I like anything that has like kind of like a dream sequence in it, but the fact that, you know, Nightmare on Elm Street is mostly dreams sequences, that really takes the cake for me.
That's a really good point. Yeah. Oh God, best on-screen kill. Oh man, that's hard. There's so many.
Well, Nat brought up Terrifier. I don't know if you've watched Terrifier, but there's the getting sawed in half vertically.
Yeah.
Which is, or horizontal. Yeah, vertically. Which is, that was pretty intense to watch. I mean, I do love gore. Yeah. So I'll probably have like a different answer next week or the week after.
That's the thing. That's a hard question because there's so many good ones. I'm like trying to think of. I mean, I'm trying to think of what. Oh, Chris disappeared. I'm the only one left on the show. Okay, what happened?
Sorry to leave you halfway.
Okay, so I'm trying to think of out of like because there's so many, but I've been watching a lot of horror lately because it's October. So I'm trying to think of out of something that I watched recently that's a really good kill. Midsummer. Oh my God.
Like the hammer scene when somebody like, jumps off the cliff and
Yes.
You just watched that for the first time too.
Yes.
Right?
I did. I wish I saw it in theaters though, because it's so visually stunning. It's beautifully filmed.
I was actually laughing when I watched it in theaters.
Really?
I felt bad because I felt I was like ruining the mood. But
why were you laughing?
I don't know. I mean, there's like a lot of awkward situations in that.
Yeah.
Like looking back, it's a bit more disturbing. And I was like, oh, maybe that was like just a defense mechanism or something.
Maybe you were trying to, because it's to me, because there was Hereditary and then Midsummer, they came out like kind of like close together. And I definitely enjoyed Midsummer a lot more. Hereditary was still very good, but Midsummer really got under, like it really dug deep in there because there were so many relatable, in my opinion, there was relatable situations with what she was going through at the beginning of the movie, you know, with mental illness and all this stuff going on with her family. And then she's thrown into this like really vulnerable situation, you know, with a cult. And she just gets into it because she's so fucking vulnerable walking into that, they win. They win her over, and she gets sucked in. So it's like but it's just such a beautiful movie. Holy crap! And that scene where they jump off the cliff and like that to me is probably one of the best scenes I've seen in a long time.
It's really great. I also prefer over Hereditary.
Yeah.
But I mean, Ari Aster just finished filming in Montreal this past summer, so I guess we get a new movie coming out with Joaquin Phoenix, I believe.
Really? I didn't know that. Okay, very cool. I love Joaquin Phoenix. Who doesn't? Like he's an incredible actor. So that's cool.
All right. Well, if there's nothing else left, let me just go through the upcoming events. Like we said, next Monday, October the 18th, it's Justin's show, Peaked in High School. And am I allowed to announce this, or are we keeping it under wraps? Oh,
it's not the future Q&As, just this one.
From what I understand, it'll be the last episode of Peaked in High School.
For now, yeah.
For now, okay. Yeah. But I mean, if you are nostalgic for those MySpace days, then tune in for that.
Yes.
And what else?
We're pretty quiet for the next little bit. Like we've got we're taking a bit of a break for the Q&As. We have a couple coming in November, because October is a pretty quiet one for the Q&As. We have some more announcements after that, but for now it's you're in the spotlight, Chris. Like you've got your show, and Justin having his last Peaked in High School. Guys, watch Peaked in High School, because I know for a fact that we have a lot of followers who are into the emo 90 or emo early 2000s bullshit, and you got to watch this show because it's hilarious. Like he goes over all those records that you're either embarrassed that you were into, or he re-listens to them just to kind of see like how well they aged. So it's really interesting. So check it out.
Excellent. And then on October 25th will be the second episode of Gut the Punks. Yeah. And my guest will be Remy of At the Movies with Iconic Sounds. He's a DJ at CJLO 1690 AM, which, if you didn't know, that is the radio station that I have my show Sewer Spewer on. So we will be promoting the CJLO funding drive for that. It's something that's happening during in the next couple weeks. So we will be annoying you for donations because we need this money.
Perfect.
But tune in for that. Excellent. Well, Liz, thank you so much for being my very first guest.
Thank you. It's an honor. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me. It was really fun.
Awesome. I had fun too. So have a lovely night and have a lovely rest of your October. And I shall see you fairly soon.
Yes. Bye, everyone.
Bye.